Some people seem kind and perfect on the surface, but deep down, they hide bad intentions. In this video, we'll reveal 7 clear behaviors of people with questionable character. Spot the signs early and protect yourself. 1. Obsession with control. People with questionable character often reveal themselves through an unhealthy obsession with control. To them, relationships are not about trust or equality, but about power. They don't just want to influence your choices. They want to dictate how you think, behave, and even feel on a daily basis. At first, their control might appear as caring guidance or well-meaning advice. They may say things like, "I just want what's best for you," or "Trust me, I know better." But beneath those sweet words is a hidden agenda to keep you dependent and under their authority. They use different tactics to achieve this. Sometimes it's charm and persuasion, making you believe that following their lead is the safest path. Other times, it's emotional blackmail, guilt-tripping you, threatening to withdraw affection, or reminding you of past mistakes. And, in some cases, it's subtle intimidation, creating fear that if you disobey, you'll lose something valuable. The irony is that their need to control doesn't come from strength. It comes from deep insecurity and fear. Fear of losing relevance, fear of being abandoned, fear of not being good enough. By controlling you, they try to hide their own weakness. The more you give in, the more of your independence, identity, and freedom slowly slips away. That's why recognizing this behavior early is crucial, because once control takes root, it becomes harder and harder to break free. 2. Lying as a habit. Another clear sign of questionable character is the constant habit of lying. For these people, dishonesty isn't just an occasional mistake, it's a lifestyle. They twist the truth, hide important details, or even create entire stories that never happened. What makes it worse is their ability to lie so naturally that at first, you may not even notice at the beginning. Their lies might seem small and harmless, excuses for being late, exaggerations to look better, or little white lies to avoid blame. But over time, the lies grow bigger, more complicated, and harder to detect. Each lie becomes a layer in the web they spin, trapping those around them in confusion and mistrust. When caught, they often twist the story further, deny responsibility, or redirect blame onto others. They may even accuse you of misunderstanding or being too sensitive, making you doubt your own judgment. This kind of dishonesty erodes trust, leaving you feeling insecure, suspicious, and drained. The truth is, you can't build a healthy relationship with someone who treats lies as a normal part of communication. With them, reality is never clear, and trust is always fragile. 3. Fake image of perfection. One of the most deceptive traits of people with questionable character is their obsession with presenting a flawless image. On the surface, they seem polite, always smiling, always composed, and never making mistakes. Built to the outside world, they may look like the perfect friend, the ideal colleague, or even the model citizen. But this spotless image is just a mask carefully designed to cover their flaws and toxic behaviors. They work hard to maintain appearances, dressing perfectly, speaking smoothly, and performing kindness when others are watching. Yet behind closed doors, the reality is often very different. Their behavior can be cold, manipulative, or even cruel. But because they've built such a convincing public image, people find it hard to believe the truth when it finally comes out. This perfection isn't real. It's a strategy. Pretending to be flawless, they deflect suspicion and criticism. Anyone who doubts them might even be silenced by others who only see the polished version. If someone seems too perfect to be true, chances are they aren't being real at all. Authentic people have flaws, they make mistakes, and they're not afraid to show vulnerability. But those who hide behind a perfect facade are often the ones with the most to conceal. 4. Emotional coldness. Another powerful sign of questionable character is emotional coldness, the inability or unwillingness to genuinely connect with others on a human level. These people often come across as detached, indifferent, or unfeeling, even in situations that naturally call for empathy. When others are hurting, they might offer surface-level sympathy, but it feels hollow. Like they are only acting because it's expected of them. Instead of sharing emotions, they may analyze or dismiss them, making others feel small for expressing vulnerability. Their hugs feel forced, their words feel scripted, and their eyes rarely reflect genuine compassion. At times, they may even use their emotional distance as a weapon, staying cold on purpose to make you feel unimportant or desperate for their approval. The truth is, emotional coldness often masks selfishness. They see relationships not as mutual bonds, but as opportunities to gain something. If showing concern benefits them, they will do it. If not, they simply shut down and remain detached. Over time, this lack of warmth creates an invisible wall between them and everyone else. You may find yourself doubting your worth, wondering why your feelings don't matter. But the problem isn't you, it's their inability to form genuine emotional bonds. 5. Love for conflict. People with questionable character often reveal themselves through their unhealthy love for conflict. Unlike those who try to solve disagreements with understanding, these individuals thrive on drama and tension. They don't just endure conflict, they create it, feeding on the chaos it brings. Sometimes, they provoke arguments out of nowhere, turning small issues into big battles. Or at times, they play two sides against each other, stirring up gossip or spreading rumors just to watch. People fight. For them, conflict is entertainment, a stage where they can control the narrative and shift tension away from their own flaws. They might also use conflict as a tool when they feel insecure or threatened. They create drama to reestablish control. And the worst part? They often act innocent afterward, pretending they had no idea they caused trouble. Living around someone like this is exhausting. You never know when peace will be broken. The air feels heavy, conversations feel like walking on eggshells, and your emotional energy gets drained. Their love for conflict isn't about passion, it's about power and attention. 6. Emotional manipulation. One of the most draining behaviors of people with questionable character is emotional manipulation. Unlike open confrontation, this tactic is subtle, quiet, and often invisible until you're already caught in its web. Manipulators are masters at playing with your feelings to get what they want. They may present themselves as victims, telling sad stories to trigger your sympathy only to use your kindness against you. Sometimes they twist situations, making you feel guilty for things that aren't your fault, or making you believe you owe them more than you really do. Over time, this guilt becomes a leash, keeping you obedient and doubtful of yourself. They also know how to shift reality. When you point out their mistakes, they flip the script. Suddenly, you're the one who's wrong, insensitive, or unreasonable. This makes you question your memory, your emotions, and even your sanity. Emotional manipulation doesn't happen loudly. It happens quietly, like poison dripping, drop by drop. And if you don't recognize it early, it slowly erodes your self-esteem until you no longer trust yourself. That's exactly how manipulators maintain power, not by force, but by controlling how you feel about yourself. 7. Disrespect for boundaries. Another clear warning sign of questionable character is their constant disregard for personal boundaries. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, giving each other space, honoring limits, and recognizing that every person deserves privacy. But those with toxic tendencies simply don't see boundaries as something to respect. They may invade your personal space, reading private messages, entering your room without asking, or listening in on conversations not meant for them. They might dismiss your requests with phrases like, "You're overreacting," or "Don't be so sensitive." Over time, this leaves you feeling suffocated, like you have no safe space of your own. Worse boundary crossers often test how far they can push. First, it's a small invasion, then a bigger one, until you're used to giving in. As a harmless joke about your privacy can escalate into controlling who you talk to, what you do, and even how you live your life. The truth is, when someone ignores your boundaries, they're sending a message. Their needs are more important than your comfort. Respect disappears, and so does trust. The longer you tolerate it, the more they'll push, until you feel like your life is no longer yours.